Whenever I work with clients and they are using a specific software that I am not using or that I have not used before, but it is amazing, I am this close of switching over and using that software. But I always go back and think about one of my values, which is creating lean businesses. And that is something that I have learned since, working in healthcare, is keeping the business as simple as possible, not overcomplicating it, not having all the softwares that are out there, and just using what your business currently needs based off of where you're at. So I'm going to go over some of the softwares that I use in my business and why I currently use them. Now, the first one that I'm going to start with is my website. So I currently use Squarespace as my website provider. I have gone back and forth with using Squarespace and WordPress, but over the past couple of years, it's just been so much easier, less of a headache to work with Squarespace than working with WordPress. And it's just so easy to use. You don't need to learn, coding or anything like that. It's just plug and play, and it's just so easy to update if you need to update anything. And they also have additional features. I don't currently use them, but they are available. So you can use their email marketing and forms. You can create forms. They launched a course plan as well, where you can host a course on your website, which is kind of neat, but I have not used that. I just use the regular website feature. The next tool, again, that I always go back to is ClickUp. I have been a huge fan of ClickUp. I love ClickUp, especially their upgraded version that they launched this year. It just looks a lot cleaner and it's easier to use, and it just does so many things, right? I just love it. And I use ClickUp for my CRM/project management software. My team works off of there as well, but most of our communication is through Slack. The third software that I use is Slack. I feel like all businesses are currently using it. It's just amazing, especially if you have, those zaps that feed into your Slack, so you're not, going to different softwares to figure out, whatever it is information that you're trying to get. That's always helpful. Another software that I started using is Typeform. I know that ClickUp has a forms feature, but I prefer using Typeform just because I can create, all the forms. It's just designated for that specifically. If I want to integrate it into Zapier, I can, but right now it's not something that I am currently doing. And it's just something that, a lot of my clients use. So I want to make sure that I know the ins and outs of Typeform. Another communication tool, this is mostly for clients, is Zoom, obviously, and Voxer. Now, Voxer is a new tool that I've used it before, but I started using it in my business when I started offering Voxer coaching. So my Voxer coaching, if you don't already know, it's for VAs, OBMs, or online service providers who have an established business and want to have their business coach in the back of their pocket. It's a monthly retainer, and if you want more information on that, you can click the button below for all of that information. I love Voxer. It's just an easier way to communicate. It's kind of like having a walkie-talkie where you can just send me a message and I'll get back to you because I can, hear it as soon as you send it over, and it's just easier to exchange. I love it because if I am out and about and I get a message from a client, I'm able to respond and give, feedback and support right away. And we all know what Zoom is. If you don't, it's just like a video conferencing tool. A lot of people use it for trainings, coaching calls, all that fun stuff. And I cannot go on without mentioning Zapier. It's like a must tool. I don't use Make or formerly Integromat because my business doesn't require a lot of complicated automations. So I just stick to Zapier. But for some of my clients, I do use Make, which is, a whole another ballpark. It's a whole another game using that. And last but not least, I use Thrivecart for creating landing pages, sales pages, things like that for all of my programs. And I say all programs like I have a lot, but I just have a few. And that's where I also house all of my digital assets, like my courses, anything that I am selling, things like that. I do use, before I forget, for email marketing, I use MailerLite. I have used ActiveCampaign, ConvertKit, all of those. But for me, I don't have a huge email list and I like using MailerLite. Again, they just did a huge upgrade and it looks amazing. So if you're looking for an email software, I highly recommend MailerLite. That's my tech stack. That's all I use for my business right now. My monthly subscription expenses for this is about $150 a month, which is not bad. It's pretty good. There are obviously different plans if I was to upgrade because I needed the bandwidth of specific softwares. Pricing will go up. But for right now, as a solopreneur, I have 3 team members, so I don't need a lot of the bigger packages. I don't have a lot of expenses when it comes to running my business, which I love. And yeah, now I'm curious to know, as a solopreneur or someone who, doesn't have a big team, what your current expenses are. Now, there are some things that I can definitely eliminate or downsize in, but for right now, it just, these are the things that I currently use and I will continue using for my business. I try to make it, diverse, obviously. I don't need a, huge CRM like Go High Level or Pipedrive or anything like that. My business doesn't require a lot of leads, but in the future, if that is something that I am looking into, definitely consider SKILLZ.io. I love it. It's amazing. It's a great CRM if you have a lot of leads, if you do a lot of cold email and all that fun stuff. So that is my current tech stack. If you have any questions on any of the tools that I use, any softwares that I use for my business, let me know in the comments and let me know what you are currently using for your business.